have Miss Universe Australia, and I'm excited for this one because they did a mixture of a live segment as well as a webcast segment. So their Q&A was actually done through an online platform. So let's see how they did it.
It was, do you believe Australians should be able to access university education for free?
I believe that Australians should be able to access university education for free. And the reason for this is we have an abundance of wealth and the ability to choose what we're investing in the betterment of our country. Ultimately, I believe that education is a fundamental human right and that when people have access to education, they can evolve. I think ultimately we're investing in the economy, we're investing in our future, and that's why Australians should have the ability to have access to a free university education. Thank you.
All right, so the question to Miss Universe Australia 2020 was not as controversial as the one asked of Miss USA. I don't know what the political environment surrounding free education is right now. So since I'm not sure if this is a controversial issue right now in Australia, we can't really say if her answer was a really good one. I feel like it's already a given, like with the adjectives that she used and the terms that she used. Like for example, it's like investing in people, or that will translate eventually to economic growth. You know, these are it's nothing new. The challenge also to answering a question that's not too controversial is you kind of have to take that extra effort to make your answer more impactful, especially when it comes to education, where a lot of queens already got to answer this question. We know all the versions of it, so we have to kind of give something new to the table. We have to serve a different dish and spice it up by giving a different angle to this issue, for example. Because I would think, but please do feel free to enlighten me in the comment section below if you're aware of this issue in Australia. I do feel that if you're asked this question in Miss Universe, it's because there's a point of contention around it that needs to be addressed. So I wish that in her answer, she kind of touched on that issue, whatever it may be, because then we would know that, okay, how is the discourse around education or free university evolving around that, and what should we be concerned about? Why does this issue merit our attention right now? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm not sure if they have another question and answer portion. I'll try to look for it, because it doesn't seem like it's the final question, like by the feel of it. So we'll see.
Maria, if you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say?
Can I just say that this question was already asked in previous editions of Miss Universe, and I always dreaded this question because it comes with a lot of pressure. Like if the attention was on you for 30 seconds, what is your message to the world, or what would you say? And at that moment, you just black out, you know, because how can you choose among all the issues that need to be talked about right now? How do you prioritize those topics and pick the one that needs to be addressed? So let's see how she goes about this question.
Take 3 seconds to be silent. I asked you to do that because I wanted to show you that powerlessness and injustice are not always dressed up in the way that you think. Sometimes it can look exactly like that, your silence. We have spent most of the year in masks, but how many of us have lived our lives behind another kind of mask? A mask of silence for going after our dreams, challenging the norm, or speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves. So I am here to remind you that so long as you have your will and your voice, you have everything you need to turn any experience into power. Because what can look like an abyss of fear can really be the birthplace of opportunity. And the time to show up as a leader in your life is right now. Thank you.
Okay, now we know why she was crowned Miss Universe Australia 2020. Kudos to you, girl. That was an amazing answer. I really love girls who make their answers an experiential one. What does that mean? It means that they involve the audience with them. They make them do like a mini activity, and it's kind of impossible, to do that with the 30-second time frame, but she was able to do that and really get her point across. I love how she focused on silence and silencing that is occurring all over the world. And it's this unspoken issue that is not usually tackled. I don't know where to start, honestly, when I'm commenting on her answer right now in the second round, because there are so many elements in one answer alone, because you really need to flesh out all these things, and we can learn a lot from Miss Universe Australia, really. So let's start off with how she used the mask as a figure of speech. I love how she related it to our current situation. We're in a crazy pandemic, crazy time in our history. So she threw that in to make it relevant. I love the imagery. And then she jumps into this transition where she uses that as a personal attack. I feel like she really personalized it when she said that. But how much of your life were you really wearing this mask? This mask of silence, this mask of a facade, whatever it may be according to your interpretation. She left that open for you. So that's a part where it's really strategic, because you really get to get yourself thinking and relate it to yourself instead of her dictating how you should feel through her answer. So I think that's really smart. And then I love how her call to action involves the audience as well, because she makes them realize the power of the audience and how to get hold of this power and claim this power. So she was empowering her audience through the process. And then she threw in the quote that I think is very quotable, like what could look like an abyss of fear can actually be an opportunity. So that's reassuring for you as the audience member, because you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's a very empowering message. I think I'll do that. Congratulations, Miss Universe Australia. This girl is definitely climbing up the top of my list.